explore this concept of being a dummy, shall we?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. Do you like being a dummy?
I have no problem being a dummy.
No,
I
me
have
neither.
no problem admitting I don't know something. You know, if I think about what's in here, the things I've learned over the years, if 10 years ago I thought I knew it all,
Yeah.
there'd be a whole lot that I would have missed.
Yeah, you'd just gone like that, wouldn't it? Straight over.
Sometimes in and out the other ear.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if I think about what I know now and compare it to what I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot more that I don't know than I do know. I find that really
I
exciting.
think that's quite nice, do you?
Yeah,
I like that
absolutely.
idea. I like the idea that there's so much to know that I don't know that it's actually makes the world an interesting place.
Yeah, but we don't know what we don't know.
Mm. It's like unconscious, isn't it?
Totally. There's a whole lot more that we are unconscious of than what we are conscious of.
Mm.
And I think it's one of those things that stops people from learning.
Yeah, because we can't see our blind spots, or we can't even contemplate that there's something to learn.
Most people aren't even aware that they've got a blind spot.
Yeah.
Have you seen that exercise with the thumbs?
I have, but let's do it. Should we
Yeah,
do
we're not-
it?
yeah,
Please
okay.
not. Yeah, let's do it.
It's very simple. You hold your hands out in front of you,
Like this.
fingers pointing towards each other, like this.
Like that.
No, like this.
Like that.
Yeah, follow the instructions.
Like this?
Yeah.
So you do it like that?
Yeah. Hold them about a foot away,
Yeah.
and then close the left eye,
Yeah.
and with the right eye, look at the end of the left finger.
Got it.
And then if you move your hands, there comes a point where the right finger disappears.
Do you know it does?
Okay?
Yeah.
Now if you swap over, close the right eye,
Yeah.
and with the left eye, look at the right finger.
Yeah. Look what happens then.
Yeah. The ends of your fingers
It's
disappear.
gone.
We have blind spots. And the really cool thing about blind spots is we don't see our blind spots. What's
But
there?
how would we? How would we ever see them?
Well, I think the first thing is to become aware that we have blind spots.
Yeah.
So having an awareness means, we can then start to look at ways to, if it's a blind spot in terms of behaviour,
Mm.
the sort of behaviours everyone else can tell us about.
Yes. Do you know you do this? Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Had that experience, haven't you?
Yes, thank you for that unsolicited advice. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. So some people can see our blind spots, and actually I think that's one of the benefits of a coach.
Yeah, me too.
That we have it's called high construal thinking,
Mm.
where we can come in and we can see what I call the bleeding obvious.
Yeah.
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 And a lot of people say it's the elusive obvious.
Mm.
As a coach, we come in, we don't bring the baggage of being involved in the business.
No, we don't. And it's quite easy, isn't it? It's easier for us to hold up that mirror and say, I know you've been looking in the mirror every morning, but you're not actually looking in the same mirror that I'm looking through when I look at you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually I can see so much more possibility in you than you can even imagine.
And you'd be amazed how many people aren't willing to hear that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's quite... Sometimes I find that sad in a way, and sometimes I find it just...
I don't feel sad about it, I just go, bring it on. Resistance is futile.
Yeah.
If we've been invited to coach with someone, and I know you're the same, I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
I use the phrase, my clients are going to change, or someone's going to die trying, and it's not going to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
so
sometimes
it's
they're going to change whether they like it or not.
whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
If we've been invited to coach, and we're in that coaching space as coaches, we show up, and
Yeah.
we do whatever we can do. We nip and tuck, we come in from the angles the clients aren't suspected, and things are going to change.
Yeah.
However, I think it's important, and it's one of my rules, that I only coach people if I have permission to.
Yes.
I'm not in the business of rescuing people.
No.
So if I have permission to coach with someone, then I want to make sure that they're willing to explore things.
And I guess willing to learn.
Yeah, willing to make mistakes.
Mm.
Yeah, willing to, completely misunderstand things.
Yeah.
And not be resistant to just engaging in it.
Yeah. And I guess at some level, It requires a level of vulnerability too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
In
can
the
do.
coachee
Absolutely.
relationship.
Yeah, and I don't know, you've seen this before, where people will not be willing to be vulnerable.
Mm.
It's almost as if they've got this defensive shields up to
Yeah.
go, yeah, I'm too busy for
Yes.
coaching.
Yeah,
That's a
absolutely.
common one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a really common
Yeah,
one.
I'm way too busy.
I'm too important.
Yeah, do you know who I am?
Yeah, far too important to be
No,
coached.
no.
Why would I need that?
Yeah, I mean, especially in a lot of businesses, managers, senior executives.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Mm.
You know?
Who are you to tell me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think personally, I don't like working hard. Do you?
I don't mind working hard, but I'd rather not, because I find if I'm not working too hard, the coachee's doing all the work and they're getting the benefit. That's what I find.
Well, I don't mind hard work,
Mm.
but I also like to do things elegantly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
efficiency and effectiveness.
Yeah.
And I've found that the time spent working with the client,
Mm.
preparing the ground so they're willing to listen, to learn, not to listen to resist,
Yeah,
is well worth spent.
I agree. So how do you do that then?
Quickly. Why waste time?
Of course.
No, actually, it depends though, because everyone we coach is totally unique and individual.
Yeah. Yeah.
We both use tools and techniques and methodologies, but what is the right thing to use with that person? Whatever works
Whatever
with that
works
person.
with them. Yeah.
They're totally unique and individual.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of things that I use. Metaphors.
Mm.
Tell them a story.
Mm.
If I already suspect that there may be a resistance to someone being willing to engage in coaching, then I'll use an inoculation before it even comes up.
You might need to explain what inoculation is.
Well, it's like having a flu jab.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the flu jab to prevent the flu ever showing up. So if, for example, I know someone is going to, they've probably been sent by someone.
Mm-hmm.
So they've not chosen to do coaching themselves.
Yeah.
The manager or the director has had some coaching with us and they've had an amazing experience and they go, right, we want the whole team to now have some coaching.
Yeah.
And you can have an individual or a whole team who really kind of don't really want to be there. So that's something you can predict.
There's a resistance already, isn't there? There's an inbuilt resistance already.
Yeah, they're there because they've been told to be there. So if that's already something you can predict, the inoculation comes in beforehand. And you can do it this way. You say, look, there are some people who are so blind, they're so dumb, they're so fixed in their ways, they're not willing to learn something. There may be some people in this group who have just been sent here and don't really want to be here. They're the ones that are not going to really get a lot from this. Yeah. Personally, I don't mind, but the rest of you, well, who knows what you're going to get from this training?
Yeah.
So that's just a simple inoculation I just made up.
Yeah.
And you kind of say, look, if you don't engage in this, you are done.
Yeah. So you're almost reframing before you've got the objection.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And inoculation is a reframe.
Yeah.
But you use the reframe before the objection is ever raised.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier to do the inoculation before the event than to change it afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like try and deal with the flu once you got it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I teach that to managers sometimes, do you? I teach some of the people that I coach, the managers, how to do that.
Well, and also with sales.
Yeah.
With sales, it's one of the most important techniques to learn, which is if you know that someone goes, it's too expensive, I don't have the time, etc. You raise the inoculations before, so if they raise it, it's kind of ridiculous.
The objection is, it's not like it's futile, the objection's almost like, well, why would you object?
Resistance is futile.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a strapline.
I've heard you say that before.
Yes, I think the time spent getting someone in a position and a place where they're willing to listen, not to see if they agree.
No. Don't need them to agree, do we?
Well, sometimes it'd be good for them to agree, to say yes. But if they're already agreeing with things, if something comes along which they don't agree with, they can quite often set that aside. So I would say, look, I don't want you to listen to agree. I want you just to listen to let the information in. You know, in fact, you don't even need to believe in any of this.
No,
Just do it.
quite right.
When you do it, then see the results you get, and then you can believe in it afterwards. You know, change the sequence around.
Mm.